Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Dual Hearts. It is time to finish our run for 100% completion. There's only 2 dreams left to do, and let's begin with the first one, Hannah's dream. We're only missing, I believe, 5 rings and a handful of Essamons. This is one of the only levels not to have like a back end. This one and Val's dream, I suppose. But there are a bunch of optional quests for us to complete. We can get them all by talking to Hannah. Hannah wants a crayon. Pretty straightforward. We know she draws pictures for her mom, so now we actually get to do some thematic side quests based around that. And of course the crayon is right there, we can pick it up, bouncing off this little flower. You don't actually get a little inventory item, a little inventory click telling you you've actually picked up a new item, because the inventory sort of bonus for this level is taken up by the tangerines from the second page the sheep needed. Anyway, easy enough. We return the crayon, and we get a gold Essamon. Yep. And this is number 93, right. Pretty close to being done with that. I think it's actually, yeah, there we go, 97 pieces of Dream Energy and 6 rings missing, so that's the one we're furthest away from completing. Take care of all those pretty soon. Of course, the next thing to do is move to the second page. That's the only thing we have to do here. There are a couple of actual, like, basic objectives that I forgot to do in my first run, because I sort of confused very similar ones from multiple pages, so we'll be taking care of that too while we're here. Let's hang out on the side, wait for the pop-up button to move over. Alright, now a couple of things to do here. The enemies actually changed during the second run-through. There are no more of the cardboard cutouts of Deimos' minions. It's just random enemies sprinkled around about that we've already fought several times before, like this guy. I think he's only weak to Bumble's attacks, which is kind of a pain, but we've got enough Essamons at this point, and we can produce enough with the hammer that doesn't really matter. Alright, first things first. Remember we did this in the first page, if you remember way back to our first pass through Hannah's Dream. In the first part, there was a bird that flew overhead, and these little platforms all the way out in the corner, way out from above the main portion of the level. Look where we are on the map. We're barely even on the screen. Interestingly enough. So anyway, eventually a bird comes down. I believe the first one had a piece of Dream Energy. This one has a gold Essamon, so that's 6 to go. Let's go see what Hannah wants. Pretty sure it's another crayon. Never mind, let's go talk to the sheep. Let's subvert the maze a little bit. Yep, juice. First we brought him tangerine, now we need 5 tangerines. Needy, needy. One's right here, of course. It was too much trouble for him to get him, for him to get it himself, you know? I mean, I guess he's short and stubby legs, and sheep have not been shown in this game to have, you know, the ability to jump. You again. We'll ignore him now. He's really not worth the time. They don't really chase you, and it's unclear to me what his range on that breath attack of his even is. I don't think I've actually ever been hit by it. There's 4. Eventually you just wait to see what you can lock onto. I mean, there's nothing else to lock onto in this level other than the enemies. I guess we forgot the crayon somewhere around here. This is the bird to go back to page 1. It's the last thing we need, honestly. I think I can see it between the cracks in this little part of the... There it is. Pick it up, thank you. Let's go say hi to Hannah. I believe at this point I actually lost track of the number of tangerines I had. I was expecting to do both, to solve both of the puzzles at the same time, but, nope. She's gonna give us a gold Essamon, right? Nope. Completely wrong. We're getting a pond. Yep. Stunned silence. Of course this seems to surprise him, as opposed to everything else that we've done in this adventure so far. Bumble's doing a dog, pig, bunny paddle. Ha, get it? No, you shouldn't. Anyway, have to make things difficult for us, don't you? Not only did she draw a pond with enemies inside, but I mean, she could have just given us the Essamon. Stupid fish, get out of my way. Well, that's taken care of. 5 gold Essamons left. There's the 5th tangerine. It was over by the entrance of the level, and somehow I missed it. But the important thing is we've got it now. Now it's time to return to the sheep and make him some orange juice. Fairly straightforward, right? Collect 5 tangerines. That's quite a lot of juice, as you'll soon see. Yeah, look at the size of that glass. Freshly squeezed. Yep, we make juice with our butts. You don't even have to be that accurate. It just turns into juice. It's like twice the size of him, and he drinks it down in one gulp. What the heck is his stomach made out of? Anyway, 2 pieces of Dream Energy left. And it's time for us to move to the third page. There's actually nothing new on the fourth page, so this is going to be the end of the level for us. We're still missing 5 rings from this level, at least 1 Goalless Long, and whatever Hannah wants us to do on this page. She moves around quick, let me tell you. I mean, it is her dream, but most people in their dreams are not this mobile. I guess she gets around considering she spent most of her dream locked up in Deimos' castle. There it is, and there are the 5 rings. First thing we need to do is find a flight pad. Actually, no. First thing we need to do is pull out a platform, which I cannot seem to get to lock on at all for some ridiculous reason. Come on. Game, don't do this to me now. I'm this close to being done. Let me, please, get up the mountain. This is incredibly frustrating. Alright. One more. There we go. Thank you so much. Anyway, up the mountain we go. Gotta find a flight pad. Or make one appear somehow. There was not a flight pad, obviously, during our first trip through the level. We had to climb up. Of course, yes, that is the flight pad, and I just walked right by it. This is not a recording of me doing something else. I'm actually climbing the mountain because on my first trip up, I completely failed to notice the flight pad I just walked directly past. I am so good at this game. Anyway, that's enough of that. Let's actually move back down and get up in the air. I believe there's also a Goldessimon somewhere in here that it's floating around that I didn't really bother trying to launch myself off the side of the mountain to try and get. So we'll pick that up. There it is. We'll pick that up now first. Oops. Well, we will pick it up at some point. Yeah, okay, apparently I just got sick of trying. You know, I have objective ADD in video games. If I fail the first time on something and there's something else very close by, I just go ahead and do it. Notice that the crayon is gone. I actually assumed I picked it up. For some reason, it disappeared, and I didn't get it at all. I might have fallen off the side at some point and forgot. Anyway, let's do this all over again. Get the crayon back. Yes, I was shocked to learn that I did not, in fact, have the crayon. That was part of the issue with the crayon not actually being, you know, an inventory item like the tangerines. Nice to have some kind of crayon counter. Look at its rainbow crayons, so I guess it's like all in one color at the same time. I mean, she can draw Goldessimons and an entire pond with it, so that's a pretty freaking awesome crayon. I can see why she wants it. There's some sort of dream fulfillment thing here, you know, having us get the crayon for her as opposed to her just spawning it in front of her. This one's much easier, no evil fish trying to kill us while we get our Essimon. But that should do it. Hannah's dream is now 100% complete. The last thing to do is to go visit Sarty and complete what I consider to be, by and large, the hardest challenge in the game, although really nothing in this game is all that difficult. Certainly the most extensive challenge. Check it out, there's the HPF fragment behind him, the last one in the game. Notice that we're also missing exactly 1 ring. Considering the number of times that I've sort of failed to get 100% completion in a dream by missing exactly 1 ring, it makes sense that I'd be missing 1 ring for the entire game. Anyway, I could have done this before. I guess I didn't realize that there would be absolutely no fanfare to this happening. You just have to go be aware of the fact that you can do it. Once you take the ultimate challenge, you can just go pick up the last HP up fragment and the last ring in the game, or at least the last ring in the game for us, but just walking inside. Anyway, it's easier just to reset the dream and re-enter than it is to just complete the ultimate challenge. The last few items in the game we'll find in the boss chambers, which, as you recall, every boss chamber during the individual boss battles has a single Goldessimon and a single tummy up fragment. So we're going to pick those 3 up now, and that will complete our Goldessimon collection and give us our 50th tummy point. It's 1, pick it up, thank you. Simple enough. Deimos, of course, there's no way to make Deimos easier. He's a pain in the butt no matter when you fight him. The Queen, of course, is ridiculously simple. She basically allows us to wail on her most of the time. The flight pad actually spawns at the start of the fight, so there's no cutscene with the sheep like there was, which is a shame because this is the one time we were happy to see them, I suppose. Please don't stomp on me while I'm hunting for items. Thank you, there we go. Get it? Cannot navigate at all. I kind of assumed for some reason the Goldessimon is actually up in the sky, and I actually waited for the third part of the fight. It would have been much easier if I just let her sort of float around down there. Anyway, let's go finish off the Queen, and move to the last fight. the Kraken. This is a bit of a pain because, of course, the arena for the Kraken is extremely large. Notice that I haven't refilled my tummy at all during these 3 fights, which is probably a mistake, but it doesn't really come up, thankfully. The tummy up fragment, I believe, is just randomly scattered. I think it's in front of the ship, but it's kind of hard to find any particular landmark in this area since your visibility is so low. The other item is is about where you'd expect it to be. It's in a little grotto where you can chop down the grass and pick up the last 15 rings of the level, in this case, in Sarty's dream. It contains, for us, the final gold Essamon. There we go, 100. So that's 2 out of 3 collectibles that we've gotten 100% on. Of course, we've also gotten, after the last one, all the tummy up fragments and all the HP up fragments. The last piece of dream energy will take a little bit of effort. We'll get to that as soon as I pick up this last tummy up fragment, which, as usual, is extremely difficult to do, since you can't really turn around very easily underwater. Let's pick that up, and that's an even 50. Not that we've ever used more than about 30 at a given time, but, you know, whatever, 100% completion. Alright, what do you want now? Now that we've finished all of the boss battles individually, or at least I have, mostly off-camera, we can partake in the back-to-back challenge. And there are 2 pieces of dream energy to be won here. Obviously, we're missing 2. There we go, yes. You'll get 1 for completing it, and 1 for doing it in less than 20 minutes. So I'll speed this up to 5x, which is about as fast as I can go, just to show this entire level and this entire challenge in its fulls, since it is, of course, as I said, one of the most difficult, and I feel like it should be recorded on camera in its entirety. The Magdala challenge is basically the same as it was when we fought it in Florence's dream. You just keep bashing him, he drops his own HP restores. We have a 20-minute time limit and 8 bosses to fight, so as you can imagine, we're looking at an average of about 2.5 minutes per fight. We're well ahead of the game right now. The Lizard Man, I think I've shown several times already, at least one time in particular. Much easier with level 4 Arbalest, just sit there and blast him with charge attacks. The Snowman, there's really nothing we can do. It takes about 6 iterations of the same pattern to kill him. We don't even use the weapons, so having the weapons at level 4 does absolutely nothing for us. And of course, after all this time, after fighting, this is the 3rd time I fought all of these bosses at a minimum, because obviously I had to fight them a 2nd time to pick up the items in their individual boss battles. I still haven't gotten the hang of dodging his explosion. Casey now. Casey is ridiculous, and this really highlights the power of the level 4 hammer. Look at that. 1 combo. Or excuse me, 1 set of combos from 1 crash, and he's almost dead. The second one kills him ridiculously fast, and Bumble, I guess, in the background goes crazy, because for some reason a lot of Black Essamon spawn in this fight. The Statue Knight is where things start to come off the rails a little bit, because it takes about 10 hits to kill him, and again, there's nothing you can do to make it faster other than sort of marginal, you know, improvements in your technique. Like, for example, when he does his flying leap attack, you can stand in the water, and it'll automatically spawn the little sphere that's his weak point in the water, meaning you don't actually have to carry it yourself. I sort of screwed it up. Whatever advantage I gained from doing that, I sort of messed up by missing my throw a couple of times that you'll see later, and of course right there I just also missed my Arbalest shot. So yeah, we were about 3 or 4 minutes ahead of the pace, and now we're only about 1, and now we've got Deimos, which is almost as long, because again, there's nothing we can do about him, and it takes 8 hits, including, not counting the fact that we have to knock both of his arms off, and then hit him to stun him, before we can even throw him in the fire in the first place. I was actually somewhat concerned just from watching some of the previous videos before I partook in this challenge that I would just not be able to do it. This challenge is actually the sole reason why the game is impossible to complete 100% on hard mode, because as you can see, we come quite close to the 20-minute time limit. As it is, fighting on easy, the bosses have twice as much HP on hard, so I'm not really sure how it's possible, if it is at all possible, to pick up that last piece of dream energy while you're playing on hard mode. Again, that's the reason why I played this game on normal. No particular reason in going for 99.9% completion, I suppose. Anyway, there we go, 8 shots and he's done. And we are actually about 1.5 minutes ahead of time. The Kraken, of course, is much simpler, especially with level 4 Longinus and the fact, the knowledge that he's weak to lightning. Screwed up that first one, it kind of sucks. But after all this time, the practice actually has paid off for this guy, because I'm getting a little bit better at dodging his rotating tentacles while also hitting him with the Longinus. So yeah, one more should do it, and that'll give us a good 4 minutes to take down the Queen. Queen obviously has 3 phases and takes a ridiculous amount of hits, but she also sort of stays stationary for a very long time. We've sort of figured out by now that the charged hammer attack, there we go, whack, 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 whack. The charged hammer attack is easily the best way to do a lot of damage to her very quickly. So yeah, 3 quick hits, we charge at 2 and a bit, and she's already on her 2nd phase, and we've got 3 minutes left, so we should be able to do this. Shouldn't take more than 1 more. This looks absolutely hilarious. Wham, 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 wham. There we go. Bam, bam. I love them at 5x. Charge, 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 charge. Okay. That's enough of that. So yeah, after all this, using the optimal techniques, not necessarily the optimal fights, we beat the back-to-back challenge with about a minute and a half to spare, and we will pick up the last 2 pieces of Dream Energy. Awesome. We are now officially, not counting the black Essamon HP up fragments, at 100% completion, so let's go see what our reward is. Yes, there's a record that can be maintained, just like all the optional challenges. Let's get the heck out of here. The first thing we can pick up, since we were just in McTooth's dream, and McTooth is located in the Dream Temple, obviously the threshold for the 100 pieces of Dream Energy is right here in front of us, the same place that we put the 9 orbs to unlock the Nightmare's body. So let's do that first. In fact, it happens automatically as soon as we stand here, because we happen to be right in front of it. Awesome. Let's celebrate. Yippee! Let's get up there. No, it's not a clue. You should know what it is already. It's already behind you and broken. Way to go. Sadly, the text is not updated, apparently. So yeah, this is actually the final Baku ability, the 7th coin. A legendary technique. Was it worth it? Was it? Yay! Yay! Alright! Haven't seen that in a while. A charge. Now we have the Baku charge. It's basically an invulnerable shield that can also be used to attack the enemies, but it drains Essamons at a ridiculous speed. But we can solve this. We already have the Mystic Hammer, right? And there can't possibly be anything more broken than that, can there? So, secondarily, let's head to the Ancient Cave and unlock the 1500 ring door. This is by far the stupidest of the rewards for anything in this game. But, you know, since we went through the trouble, let's go investigate. And it is a pond. What does this do? There it is again, the dog, bunny, pig paddle, or whatever it is. Look at him flapping his ears for dear life. He can fly in the air, but he can barely swim by himself. Yep. All it does is change his color slightly. There aren't really any good color combinations, but I'm going to stick with this one for the rest of the game. Of course, they say the same thing every time. Let's show one more, just to illustrate the fact that they don't really change all that much no matter what you do. I'm not really sure, like, the actual spring itself is so bright, but the change to his color is practically nothing. We'll just leave it like this, because it matches Stompy. Yeah, see, there we go, same thing. So we'll leave it like this. Now, one more. We have 100 gold Essamons, so let's see what they have for us. Now, we do not want to look at the Baku Diary. I talked to you by accident. Sorry if that was insulting. We'll hand him 50 gold Essamons, and he will give us a Mystic Essamon. Oh, there we go, there's the little celebration again. Becomes the Ultimate Essamon. I didn't actually leave the little dialogue that tells you what it does very long. So let's just go to McTooth's dream and show off these last 2 items, the Baku Dash, or Baku Charge, and the Ultimate Essamon. We'll see what they do. There we go, it's our last item. I guess there's no item in that last empty space, which is kind of a disappointment, but I guess that's what happens when they only program in 7 things. Kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy VI, where there are a bunch of empty spaces that don't really do anything to drive people crazy. First, let's show the Baku Dash. Notice we've got 34 Essamons. Let's turn it on, and of course it goes down at a ridiculous speed. That'll kill anything we hit, but, you know, we're already ridiculously powerful. And what does the Mystic Ultimate Essamon do? We throw it, and it immediately refills his tummy to full, automatically. And it can be used infinitely, so we've officially broken the game. Let's see how hard that makes the final boss. Also, let's also actually show the inventory screen and save our game, just to give you an idea of how long this last 100% completion session took. There we go. Yep, just doing everything here took 2.5 hours. These last 2 videos. Anyway, let's go check out the final boss. we will show that fight on the next episode of Let's Play Dual Hearts. We're almost at the end, so I will see you then. Good night.